Meeting on Saturday. We'll see whether or not we attend the meeting. We said we'll attend the meeting if we think there's a good chance of they want me to attend. They want us to attend, and we'll be attending the meeting on Saturday in Europe if we think there's a good chance. And we don't want to waste a lot of time. We think it's negative.
Is extremely frustrated with both sides of this war, and he's sick of meetings just for the sake of meeting. He doesn't want any more talk. He wants action. He wants this war to come to an end. And the administration has spent more than 30 hours, just in the past couple of weeks, meeting with the Russians and the Ukrainians and the Europeans and speaking with them as well. So we'll see about the meetings this weekend and stay tuned.
This end up in third world wars. And I told that the other day. I said, everybody keeps playing games like this. You'll end up in a third world war. And we don't want to see that happen.
All right, my people. If you have been following the wars end between Ukraine and Russia, by now I hope you must just be frustrated and fed up with whatever is going on the ground. Donald Trump is proposing that the war should end before Christmas or before 2026. He wants it fast. But what is happening on the ground is so devastating. Donald Trump is also frustrated about that particularly, that this may go to World War III. It may lead soon to World War III. Now, what is actually happening on the ground? Russia wants to have more territories, day in, day out. Even what they couldn't win on the battlefield, they want to have those territories. And Ukraine is just losing out. We can see that so many of the things that you see, if you have been following, Ukraine is losing out huge territories. So America is proposing a peace talk, a peace agreement between Russia and Ukraine so that this war will end. Now we can see that Ukraine is getting stubborn, more stubborn by the day with the help of Europeans. And also these Europeans are on the verge of going to World War III. They are gearing up for World War III with Russia. Now what is surrounding all this scenario? What is going on? Now the United States peace agreement is now different from whatever peace agreement that they were giving or the proposals that they were making to Ukraine. On the matter of fact, Ukraine has received a lot of peace agreement or proposals from Americans or the Trump administration, which has been rejected on many occasions. Now, this one is the latest. It's different also. Now, for the war to end in Ukraine, United States of America proposed a peace agreement, which is just a piece of paper, just indicating how Ukraine and Russia to solve this issue in a short term. Now, the latest proposal of the Trump administration is suggesting that Ukraine adopt a free economic zone in the Donbas. This is the map. The Donbas belongs to Ukraine. The Donbas is part of Ukraine, which right now, the Donbas, 80% of the Donbas is controlled by the Russians and 20% is being controlled by the Ukrainians. Now, America wants this zone to be free economic zone. He wants to create a buffer zone over there. So the US, the United States of America, or Trump administration wants Ukraine to pull out from the Donbas quickly with a promise that Russians will not advance any further. And basically, they want a buffer zone in the Donbas. Now, what does this mean? It seems that somebody wants to profit over here. Somebody's land, somebody's country or part or state that you want to be free and economic. Now, you want to take hold of that. You want to profit over there. Everybody thinks when they say peace agreement, it's always about just peace. But in other cases, somebody wants to profit over there. Somebody wants something out of that peace, or somebody wants something out of war. There are always an ambition, an alternative for people to go to war, and somebody have to profit over there. Now, America does not want Russian soldiers or Ukrainian soldiers to be in that zone. They want that zone to be free of military. And the plan is to make sure it's being demilitarized, free and open to international investments and businesses, potentially American businesses and military, as we can probably think of. Now let's look at this. Donbas is part of Ukraine, which we can clearly say right now that Russians are controlling 80% of that, and Ukraine is only controlling 20% of the Donbas. Now, Americans want Ukraine to pull out completely from the Donbas, making it free economic zone. Now, free economic zone, which means it's going to be free. There is no Russian over there. With that promise that Russia is not going to advance further. Russians are not going to be there. Ukrainians are not going to be there. Now, who is going to be there? That place is going to have foreign investment. That's what Americans want, foreign investment or international investment. And that place, there are so many companies that are going to be there. Now, which are the companies that are going to be there? Reconstruction companies, to be able to rebuild all the houses that are being destroyed in the war. And the second is mining companies. We all know Ukraine is full of rare earth minerals. It has a large underground minerals, rare earth. So that is going to be exploited. As Ukraine is trying to have control of that, America is saying that Ukraine should withdraw completely from that zone. And the Trump administration wants this very fast. And Trump also wants election in Ukraine. But as of now, this does not sit with Ukraine. It does not sit well with Ukraine or Zelensky. Zelensky does not have the idea of giving out land freely to somebody. He doesn't like that idea. But Zelensky doesn't want to piss off Donald Trump. So he's finding a diplomatic way of saying it. Now, Zelensky wants a referendum. Zelensky wants Ukrainians to vote for this. He doesn't want to make the decision on himself. He doesn't want to make the decisions by himself. He wants Ukrainians to make the decision whether they will be of the idea of giving out land to a foreign person or somebody rather than to fight for it. Whether they like it or not, they should vote for this. That's a diplomatic way of saying no to this. He doesn't want to say that he wanted that he is not of the idea of the opinion to give out that land. Many of the time, United States have made many proposals to Ukraine, which has been rejected because Ukraine feels like United States want to profit over here. They want something. Either they want something in just this peace talk. Somebody want to profit, and we all know the person that want to profit from this zone is United States of America. Now the question is, who is going to be the leader of that zone, the free economic zone, the Donbas? Now, America wants Ukraine and Russia to pull out from there. Who is going to be the leader of that place? That's what Zelensky is asking. Who is going to govern that place, that area? Who is going to head the affairs of that zone? And also, Ukraine is asking, or Zelensky is asking, who is going to protect or supervise the area so that it will be free from the Russians that will pretend to be Ukrainian civilians and merge with Ukrainian civilians to take control of that area. Who is going to supervise that? Who is going to supersede that? That's what Zelensky is asking. So critically, you can see that Zelensky is not of the idea of giving out land freely, and he's also against the idea of withdrawing completely from the Donbas. Now, on the matter of elections in Ukraine, Zelensky says that he wants ceasefire before anything else. Despite he is ready for election, he wants ceasefire. He wants justice and security first before anything else.
Need for elections now, there must be a ceasefire at least during election process and during voting, and this is something that must be discussed. And honestly, we think here in Ukraine that America should speak to the Russian side about this.
But I personally think Russians are not of the idea of ceasing fire. They doesn't want the war to end. If they are advancing, if they are claiming or getting more territories, if they are winning the war, they don't want to end the war. If they end the war, then it gives the opportunity, the upper hand to Ukrainian soldiers or Ukrainian authorities to go and gather their military to come back and claim the territories that have been won by the Russians. So I don't think they are of the idea of ending this war. You don't have any reason to end this war. It doesn't have any reason, as I can see so far. What are also your opinion? Just put it in the comment section. Now, Donald Trump's frustration is evident that he is saying if they are joking with this, then it's going to be World War III, because Donald Trump is frustrated. Every month, over 25,000 people are dying in each month. So Donald Trump is frustrated with what is going on, and it probably may lead to World War III.
25,000 people died last month. Soldiers, mostly soldiers, but some people also where bombs were dropped. But for the most part, 25,000 soldiers died last month. I would love to see it stop. Things like this end up in third world wars. And I told that the other day. I said, everybody keeps playing games like this. You'll end up in a third world war. And we don't want to see that happen.
NATO is also issuing a very stamped warning, saying that Ukraine is just a taste for Russia. Russia is just tasting Ukraine. And Russia's main objective is what? Pull out through Europe. Is to take the war to Europe. But I don't think this is true. It's just a narrative or something else, because this cannot be true. We don't know the facts. But that's what the Europeans are saying. That's what NATO is saying.
Are Russia's next target. And we are already in harm's way. When I became NATO Secretary General last year, I warned that what is happening in Ukraine could happen to allied countries too. That we had to shift to a wartime mindset.
So if they are saying that Russians' objective in the future is to take the war to the Europeans, then I think this is another way. But I think this is just a narrative, because I don't think Russia has a reason to go with war with Europeans. I don't think so. But what are your opinions? Just drop it in the comment section. Now, everybody can clearly see that every peace agreement, or everybody wants peace, but it's in different verses. Everybody peace talk, everybody way of having peace is different. Americans want peace, but they want to also profit from the peace agreement. Ukraine want peace, but they want justice and security first before anything after that. Europeans are saying Russia is targeting them, or Russia wants war with them. Which is which? Guys, this is what is going on around the globe and the war between Russia and Ukraine. What are your opinion? What are your thoughts on this recent update? Wherever it is, drop your own opinion in the comment section. Thank you for watching this channel.